She's been to the Olympic Games, really an icon of the sport, and now winning this iconic South Africa, well, rather competing and ending 7th in this iconic South African race. Congratulations, Zola.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I mean, just your international accolades are well known, but what does this gold medal here at Comrades mean for you?
It's probably the hardest race of my life that I ran today, because I started out too quick and I went through a bad patch and I had to walk, and I just came back and hung in there. So for me, it was emotionally probably the hardest race ever in my life. But I knew I had to hang in there, and because I was running for Pierre today. But compared to my international career, this is so special to be part of this, because ever since I've been a young girl and watched Bruce win Comrades, I've always dreamt of maybe one day I can get a rose as well. So I had to wait till the old age of 48 to do that, but eventually I got there. Yeah.
Zola, you know, when I spoke to you in studio before you actually came to take part in the event, you said to me, I'd like to just maybe do a little bit better than my debut of 8 hours.
Yeah.
You absolutely smashed that. You knew you were in great form.
I knew I was in great form, but I never know with a longer distance. With 2 oceans, you can still sneak away, because it's just like 14 k's longer than a marathon. But with Comrades, it's a total different ball game. It's such a long day and such a long race, and a lot can go wrong. Luckily, I could recover halfway through the race and come back. But so I don't like making predictions about the Comrades.
You are one of those true distance athletes that doesn't like to speak up what exactly they're going to do. We had Bruce earlier on saying this morning that an ultra runner will not say, I'm going to smash this time and I'm going to do this and that, like a Muhammad Ali will. Just take a look at the screen. That's you coming in, and the entire Sahara Stadium Kingsmead was shouting, Zola, Zola. Did you hear them?
Yes, I did. The support was amazing, especially when I went through my bad patch, and people helped me and supported me, and it was amazing. And the athletes as well, running the last 10, 15 Ks with them. I don't know their names even, but they really helped me and nursed me through. So it's just amazing the support you have from the athletes as well.
Now, you ran your very first Comrades in 2012, and you learned some very valuable lessons from that. Do you think that helped you in today's race?
Definitely, because in 2012, when I went through a bad patch, I started panicking and I didn't know what to do. But today I knew, okay, just walk a bit and get enough sugar in and make sure that you recover, and then you can keep on running. It's not the end of your race. So that really helped me, and especially when I ran with Bruce, he really nursed me through, and he pointed out all the main hills in the course and what to do and what not to do. And I thought of him a lot today when I ran, and the advice I had when he gave me in 2012, which was really helpful.
All right. You went through a little bit of a bad patch at Cowies. That's about 17 kilometers to the finish line.
Yes.
Yeah. What was going through your mind, and what actually happened?
I was really going through a bad patch, and I was almost like going to sit next to the road and just hoping to feel better. But then I thought, no, let's make a plan and just walk through some of the water stations and make sure you drink enough Coke and recover. And that's what happened. And so I was glad that I could actually go through that bad patch and recover.
I suppose you also have this feeling of, I'm doing this really tough race, sometimes I must just push through it, and maybe that's not always the best tactic when your sugar levels are low, and it's knowing that balance, when to actually say, okay, now I need to slow down and I need to do 1, 2 and 3, and let's just push through this.
Yes, it's when your blood sugar levels fall, you can't really push through. You have to stay back a bit and just make sure that, because it does recover quite quickly again when you drink enough sugar and you take the right substances. Yeah.
How do you feel when your blood sugar level gets low, so you know that it's not just another pain that your mind may be making up at such a long distance into the race?
For me, I start sweating a lot, and I get very cold and dizzy, and that's the main symptoms I have, and then I know you're in trouble.
Yeah, it's also about knowing your body very well.
Yes, you have to, and luckily in my training I've gone through this as well, so I've learned to adapt. It's something that I've been battling with a long time, and luckily I've been able to adapt to it in the last few years in my training and racing as well.
There's something that they talk about in the Comrades Marathon, and that's that psychological wall that you hit.
Yes, yeah.
Did
I think
you
I
hit
hit it quite a few times today. The first time was this morning when I woke up and I told my sister, just remind me never to do this again. So yes, you do go through that, and that's what makes Comrades special, because you go through all these ups and downs emotionally, and that's what also makes it a very lonely race, because you yourself have to really pull yourself through that. But that's what's so amazing, because you have all the support along the way, and especially today, because I was running for Pierre, and I really had to pull through and keep on running.
All right, we just saw a couple of tweets on the screen a little bit earlier on, people saying how much you've inspired them, and also some messages of support for Pierre. I hope we can perhaps get some of those messages up so that you're also able to see just some of the reaction that has been going on social media when it comes to what you've been doing, and also your yellow ribbon that represents that you run for Pierre Korkie.
Pierre Korkie, yeah. Yes.
Just tell us a little bit about that relationship.
He was a coach of mine in 88, 89, and he's a dear friend. And so he's from Bloem, and he's been a teacher there at Grey College for more than 20 years. And he was captured more than a year ago, and he hasn't been released. And I thought, as a runner, that's one thing I can do, is to dedicate my race. And I asked other runners to run with the yellow ribbon as well today, just to raise some awareness of what's happening with Pierre and other South Africans as well that are also captured.
You announced a couple of days ago that you would be dedicating this race to Pierre Korkie, and his wife then came out also into the media to appeal that people keep this top of mind, because he still has not been released. When you spoke to her, what did she say?
She was very supportive, and because I'm an athlete and a runner, and I come from Bloem, and the running community in Bloem is very supportive of each other, and it's a small community, so it was a good idea to involve the running community as well, and bring it to Comrades, and I'm really thankful for the support I've had.
What was the reception like when you got other runners to also don a yellow ribbon, to also take up this cause and dedicate their races to Pierre?
I think runners are very very sharing people, and immediately the reaction was amazing. Yes. So we had at the expo we had loads of people come and take yellow ribbons to dedicate or to run for Pierre for today.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Zola, a lot of people know that you are based in America with your 3 teenage girls, and what else are you busy with currently?
In America, I'm a volunteer coach at university, and I help with development of because in the middle school in South Carolina specifically, there's no organized sports, so we started running clubs at different schools for the kids to be more active. So I'm involved with that, and then I'm involved with Newton running shoes as well.
And you helped develop the technology behind that, I believe.
A little, not much. No, I just appreciated the technology behind it, because I was a barefoot runner, and then transitioning to shoes has always been difficult. Yeah.
Let's go a little bit back to today's race, because one of the favorites in the women's race was Shanae Bosman. Now,
yes.
She actually collapsed and she fell out of the race beyond halfway. You actually saw her collapse. Just tell us what actually happened.
I was running, and as I passed her, I said, "Shanae, are you okay?" And then she just fell. She passed out completely. And luckily there were people around that could help her, and there was an ambulance down the way, and I stopped and asked for them to go and help Shanae. I'm not sure, I haven't had any news after the race what happened to her, but she just collapsed. I was really worried, and I think she was really not feeling well. I mean, if she passed out. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the latest that we've gotten from her manager and from the Nedbank team, which is the team that Shanae Bosman actually runs for, is that she is currently in hospital, but she is okay. I'm sure, as well as a South African, it's horrible to see something like that. You know, running is that kind of sport where you don't just want to beat your competitor, you're always wanting to beat yourself and your best. And I'm sure seeing another South African runner in trouble like that.
Especially Shanae, because we've known each other for such a long time, and we've been to Zimbabwe together on a cross-country races, and I mean, she actually grew up before me. So especially Shanae, and I had high hopes for today, because I really think she's a great runner, and today was just one of those days. As long as she can as long as she's healthy, she can always come back and have a great, because last year she had a great race.
Yeah. All right, I'm sure lots of South Africans are getting behind her, also supporting that she comes back. Now, Zola, after your 7th place finish here at Comrades 2014, many will be asking, maybe next year we can see a better placing. Could Zola be our answer?
I think the best question like that should be left for about a week from now when I've recovered. Not just after the race. I think just after the race I'd probably say never again. But in 3 days' time, I remember last time I ran, I told Bruce I'm never going to do this again, and 3 days later I called him and said, do you think I'll be able to do it again?
So maybe we could have Zola back and going for a win.
No, I think that's a bit far-fetched. I think today was one of my better races in my career, and I was really pleased with that. So, yeah.
That Zola Budd features her after she ended 7th here at the 2014 Comrades Marathon. A true legend of the sport here in South Africa. It's been great having you here in our studio to chat to you, and of course dedicating her run today to Pierre Korkie, who remains in the hands of terrorists that are not yet releasing him. And the call still goes out to please release this teacher who has affected and helped many young people's lives here in South Africa. All right, so